Sometimes they family for life. And right. Just because y'all broke up, we didn't break up. That's still my sister, or that's still my cousin, and that's still my auntie. Auntie Helen's still my auntie. I don't care. Absolutely. And we'll say it in front of the new person forever. That's still my auntie.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Latora.
And I am Latoya,
and this is Twinspired,
the podcast that's all about real, unfiltered conversation on life, love, business, and everything in between. We are twin sisters on a mission to juggle relationships, parenting, building empires, and creating a family legacy without losing our minds.
So whether you're here for a laugh, some inspiration, or just a little twin magic to brighten your day, you're in the right place.
Let's dive in.
Hey, you guys. We are back.
Hey.
We are on episode number 8. Mm-hmm. And of course, this is the Twinspired podcast. We are back with another episode. And this week, we will be definitely talking about family reunions, keeping the roots alive for the next generation. So, sis, how was your week?
So we actually just came back from our family reunion. I feel like all Black families have their reunions on Labor Day weekend. So we definitely had ours. We were in Atlanta. Shout out to my sister, Mashika Steele, because you put on an amazing family reunion. We had a really good time. We got to spend some time with the family, eat some good food, and it wasn't too far. It didn't break the bank or anything. We were able to drive up. Ain't nobody get no speeding tickets because
Georgia,
Valdosta, okay? Okay, I be wanting to set the cruise control on like right at the speed limit, and Jaden was driving up, and I kept saying, all right, you keep playing with these people in Valdosta. If you know, you will get a super speeder, and they make you come to court." Okay, so we had a good time.
And the crazy thing is, we ended up getting we started out with like a Versa, like something like real hatchback, not even cute. Ended up having sugar ants. Also, none of the outlets worked, so we couldn't charge our phones. So the whole time we were trying to navigate, our phones were like dying.
Okay.
So we ended up able to pull over to an Enterprise, and they gave us a Dodge Challenger.
Oh, a little gas
guzzler, but speedy. So
did y'all get a ticket?
Literally was trying not to get a ticket. Oh, because it's that same thing. Going into Georgia, you will get you a ticket. So it was just like, look, don't let this car get you no ticket. I kept looking over there, and husband was like, all right, you got CDL, you better stop playing, because he was getting it. And I'm like, boy, slow down. We're gonna be late. Regardless. We were in traffic, but needless to say, we made it. Happy we made it. We were able to see everybody, love all the cousins, love the family. Like, we had a good time. So,
yes, the police was out there. When I tell y'all out there, because that's like one of the most busiest travel times. So yes, we definitely. I'll use Waze.
Oh yeah, definitely. Where it be talking about police
yes.
presence on the left.
And I never push like not there. Yes. Girl, Jaden was trying to like use maps, and I'm like, absolutely not. If you don't turn on that good old Waze to tell us in advance, and you better slow down. Stop playing. So yeah,
you guys. So with that being said, we came off an amazing weekend with the family. Labor Day weekend is always our family reunion. We rotate every year, but either way it go, that was our inspiration for this week's episode of the Twinspired podcast. So when we think about family reunion, I always thinking about the good food that we're getting ready to eat. The games we're gonna play, like we always have that good fish fry on that Friday night. So I'm always thinking about fish. Like, I can't wait to get my mouth on some good fish, because I don't know what they be putting in that fish or how they be doing it, but it be completely different than what you get from like the store. So that's the things that I look forward to when it comes down to family reunion. I'm always gonna think about the food. I'm always gonna think about the games that we're gonna play, because our family is really big on games. Like, we gonna play some games, and then on top of that, we always just have good laughs, good vibes. Like, it's always real chill. So I love it.
Yeah. I like the fact that we dance, and like we got one of our aunties. When I tell you, she gonna learn every line dance, and she gonna school us. And I mean, she not like a super young auntie. Like, auntie be getting it. So you got to be prepared to learn some new stuff and just have fun. So we laugh, we eat, we pray, and we just rejoice and have fun together. So I definitely love that.
Okay, and keep in mind, you guys, at the end of the day, the family reunion is not a barbecue. It's a legacy. It's therapy. It's love at the end of the day. So, and we want to just stress the fact on how important it is to continue the tradition, and for, future family reunions to continue. So
So the biggest, like, the reason why family reunions matter, for one, it's just knowing that you're a part of something, like coming together once a year, you're sharing your legacy, you have a tribe. Sometimes you collab with family, it's like, let's get together and do this, or you can babysit, we can do some business stuff. I learned stuff from, like, the veterans. They will sit down and tell us, like, oh, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that, they retirement. So we learn things from each other. It's a lot like mental health. Again, just knowing that you have a tribe, that you belong to something, you get to learn a bit about your heritage. We have a really big family, and we do like a combined, so ours is still Mathis, but we get to meet people and understand our lineage. So this time we did a where we were having people who were descendants of specific relatives to stand up, like if you were a part of this person's lineage, stand up. So we get to see where everybody's from and how we're all connected. So that is really a big thing. So you pass down traditions, and it can be anything from recipes to dances to games, memories more than anything, but just being a part of something bigger than yourself. That's where the family reunions, I say, are the most important. And just bringing the kids along so they get to meet new cousins, new aunties. Leah got to play with a bunch of cousins, and she had a ball.
And Walt actually met some of his cousins that he didn't know that ended up being the exact same age as him. So
Yeah,
they met, and within 2 hours, he was like, "Can I stay?"
yeah. He stayed at their house. He totally abandoned us. He didn't even come to the last event. And they hung out. They made TikToks. They enjoyed themselves. So for him, he just gained new cousins, and their mom is like our favorite cousin. So that was really good.
Yeah, definitely amazing. So, the importance of the continuation of the family reunion. So, it's very important for the younger generations to step it up when it comes down to keeping that legacy, keeping it going, right? So, like for instance, like she said before, we rotate. We rotate, and who plays the role of the host every year. So each year we do encourage, the younger generations not to only attend, but also so sometimes step it up and volunteer to host, and even if they're not fully hosted, be a co-host so that they can start learning how to actually do it, learning how to make everything work and how it all flows. Because at the end of the day, it's a whole event, it's a whole organization that goes along with being able to create anything to that mass of amount of people. To be able to stay organized, to be able to manage the funds, to be able to do everything, the catering, all of it, it takes a lot. So we recognize that that is, something that's really major, it's really big, but at the end of the day, it's very important for the younger generations to keep it up. Um, and also, like I said, attendance. Like my kids didn't attend this year, and since we were born, I don't think I've only probably missed one. So 41 years, probably missed one out of the 41 years. So the importance of continuing to come and continuing to get our kids to come in. Of course, our kids are grown. So it was my son's birthday weekend. He decided he wanted to go hang out. Actually, my oldest daughter did come. She rode up with my brother. And baby girl, she just decided to hang back as well. I think she didn't have to work. But of course they're grown, so you can't force them. But we definitely encourage it, and I always let them know it's super important. But some of the things that the younger generation can bring to the table is, for instance, the millennials and the Gen Zs, they can be a little bit more creative, a little bit more tech savvy. They can add things to the family reunion that we probably didn't previously had, like using digital videos, with the group chats and the text messaging and all, like WhatsApps and the different chats and things like that. That's a good way of being organized, which some of the older generations, of course, wouldn't do, but that's something that definitely is a great add-on that the newer generation or the younger generation brings in. And also, like for instance, we didn't. Her husband was supposed to DJ, and he was able to just make us a nice little mix. He labeled it where it was like line dancing music, or it was like all the different types of music, and it was just easy to just maneuver throughout the thing. And of course, back in the days, it would have been us running back and forth to that radio trying to figure out who got the next CD. Somebody plug up their phone, somebody plug up for iPod, or whatever you say. But at the end of the day, the younger generations do bring a lot to the table. So I just want them to like keep in mind the importance of family at the end of the day. And you guys, like, I want to like challenge you the listeners out here, to go ahead and start like planning stuff for your family. Like at the end of the day, when was the last time that you reached out to your family and actually planned something, whether it was just a dinner or lunch?
So we had like a family meeting at the end of the reunion. We always do it on like the second to last day, and we discuss fees, we discuss everything. And y'all, I mean, the economy is not improving, so we did have to go up on our fees a little bit this year, but it made sense because it's expensive to feed everybody. It's expensive to do a lot of the things that you want to do, and like even the venues sometimes. So it's okay to like, hey, send a little bit at a time if we need to set up some type of payment plan, but you kind of go ahead and establish a fee for everyone, even your guests. In all fairness, if you're going to bring somebody, and we all love to invite somebody to the cookout, it's fair to either prepay for your guest or again just have a set fee set aside because that's a lot on the host. I've hosted before here, and you're co-hosting next year, so it can be a lot on the host. But when it all comes together, it's so worth it. But like just for sake of not stressing them out and being able to keep up the tradition, that's important to go ahead and send in your money, do what you need to do, get your plans in order. A lot of times you can get discounts and stuff. Like if you're all staying at the same hotel, you can lock in a discounted group rate, and that helps people with savings. I know when we did like the cabin, that was kind of cheap too if you divide it up between like the rooms or however many family members are coming. So it's doable. Yes, definitely. So I want to talk about like the creative spin. So even if you're not having a really big all inclusive family reunion, I like to do like cousins trips, and those are very fun. We usually will do like a cruise or just something fun, and we get to go out and do a bit more. Sometimes when we're planning for the family as a whole, we do have the elders who are not always able to go really far distances, or we're not going to do a whole lot of like really active things. We kind of just chill, and that's their speed, and we respect that. But then it's like when you get with your cousins, and we all around the same age range, we can go out, we can do other things and be a bit more adventurous and have a little bit more fun. So even if you're just doing little things like an annual game night or Zoom calls, that's always a way to connect with your family in between those times.
Like a scheduled Zoom call. I think we used to have that at some point. We used to have a Zoom game night.
Right.
So like it was like once a month on a Friday. Everybody knows at 8 p.m. everybody's gonna log in. Y'all keep the same link. So every time everybody's logging in, and even if they're not playing along with whatever the game is, they're there. Everybody's on the screen. Everybody's happy to see each other. Right. And that's definitely going to be exactly what we're going to be doing with tours out in retirement.
So all in all, just spreading those responsibilities around. It can't be the same people all the time because that can get exhausting. It's like, we're a team, we're a family. So pull it all together, make it fun and have people join in. So we haven't done any like staycations as siblings, but you can even do like siblings thing. My dad got 6 kids. So for us, it is like it's a group. If we come with our mates and our children, that's a good 40 people or so. So even you can do that if you don't have a really big family or you're not in contact with like extended family. Just get with your siblings, get with your cousins.
What we did for Father's Day when we all went to New Orleans. We didn't bring the kiddos. It was just the adults. It was the siblings and dad and our bonus mom, and that was it. And we were happy with that, and it was nice. It was nice just to have our own little mini family reunion where we all just met up for Father's Day and were able to celebrate him and just have a good little trip over. So that's definitely something that I did. Like it's easy. It's easier to do something small. So if you don't even have a big family, or again, you don't want to spend out, big bucks, just playing something small, and whoever can come can come.
Sister cruises, definitely if you have more than one sister. It's 5 girls and a boy, and it's kind of like our black sheep, and it's not on purpose, but I just think that sisters, we can kind of get together. Bro is like, he gonna be at a concert. Him and our, I guess, second to the third oldest.
Yeah, he's the third oldest.
those like to turn up. They gonna go see some stuff and go just be gone. And so he be on his own little vibe, and we get it. He be on go. So, but the sisters, we'll do like a little sister trip. I think they had one recently, and they didn't call it a sister trip. Yeah, like majority of the sisters was there.
Yeah, like 3 of them was there out of the 5. So it was just like,
that was basically a sister trip.
Is this a sister's trip?
That we didn't know about?
Sister's trip? They were like, well, we knew that you guys were, you just had this going on and she had this going on. It's like, y'all had to sneak a sister strip in on that. Mm-hmm. Like, don't try it. So yeah. So I want to discuss like the ripple effect of, saying like the family reunion. So like basically, how starting something and having a tradition, how it affects generations to come. So like for instance, your kids, like you said, get to grow up with cousins that in essence start to feel like siblings. So like again, your my nephew, got a chance to meet with some of his cousins this weekend, and that was just like a great bond that they'll forever have. Now they texting and chatting with each other and on social media and making videos and all of the things. But also just in general, we're dealing with today's mental health and today's, the stress of today's world. Having your family or having a family in general, even if it's not your family, because of course we invite friends, family, cousins, and distance of the people that are connected to us are all welcome to come to our family reunions. But just in general, having those family reunions gives people a place again to be able to have a support system. Saying be able to check in on their loved ones. Sometimes they're not in the space, but coming to a family reunion can lighten that mood for them. And like she said, you learn financial. You can learn financially from your family. Look up to whoever that uncle is or that auntie or whoever it is in the family that's doing good, and hey, on purpose, sit at their table. And hey, I just want to chat with you and, just check in because you might not have their direct number to be able to reach out to them. And you might not even feel comfortable enough to reach out to them, in a regular space where you're at home, they're at home. And, I'm just going to call uncle. I ain't seen uncle in, 2 years. But we're at a family reunion. Everybody's, a little bit, guards are let down. Everybody's having a good time. So, like, one of our uncles was giving us the game. Like, like every time. Yeah, like our family is full of entrepreneurs, of course, and I take every opportunity, like she said, to learn from my elders, to learn from anybody that is doing something bigger or has the opportunity to teach me something I don't know. So, but also, the world is just so disconnected. So, just again, having that unity, being able to come together and have that space where saying you can connect with someone because again, friends are hard to make sometimes as adults. And, again, you're not always as close to those distant cousins and those distant aunties and stuff like that. But having that time to just catch up and laugh on good, old memories of the things that y'all used to do and the fight someone had back in the days and, all of the things, it's always like, very refreshing, very good for the heart, and laughter is good for the soul.
So I want to just talk about the fact that sometimes there can be good, bad, and ugly. You can have all the fun in the world, and sometimes there's drama. Now, at our reunions, we typically don't have any drama. You might have a drunk uncle or something like that, but usually they're very laughable moments. But like there are etiquettes and things that maybe, should be followed at reunions. I know we've had where, maybe a ex of someone showed up where they may still be family technically to some of us or to everyone else, but maybe they've no longer or discontinued a relationship that really made them true family, but they're still connected to the family in some way, shape, or form. And we've had like the new spouse be offended that an older ex and years ago, but we had someone that was offended that there was an ex at the reunion, and nobody was bothered, but them.
Unbothered.
Very unbothered.
So you guys, let's get your take on that. Like, what do you think is enough time that should go by before, like, for instance, an ex is able to come to the family? Because is it 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 10 years? Like, what is a good time frame? And of course, when we say like they might come to the family and they might not come to every single event, right? But like the outside event or the nighttime party. They don't have to come to the intimate. We're all at someone's personal house having a fish fry. But if we're going to a water park or we're going to public park around their pavilion, things like that, where it's a public place. What y'all think? Is it okay for the exes to come, or is your family supposed to just cut that person off because you cut them off? Like, let us know in the comments what y'all think, because I say, hey, if they family, sometimes they family for life. And right. Just because y'all broke up, we didn't break up. That's still my sister, or that's still my cousin, and that's still my auntie. Auntie Helen's still my auntie. I don't care.
Absolutely. And we'll say it in front of the new person
forever.
That's
still my auntie. One of my favorites. So yeah,
I feel like so long as when the ex is coming around, if they're not being like disrespectful, if it's like just real cordial, like, hey, you kept the same energy with everybody, then like really, I feel like that's like you need to deal with you in the inside, because if no one else is bothered, and again, like unless they like ducked off in the corner somewhere, and it's just like, what are y'all doing? But as long as there's respect and y'all just there and it's really just cordial with everybody, and you don't seem to be worried about mine, I even if you were like I just don't care about stuff like that. I don't. Not threatened, easily threatened at all.
Me neither. And I think we were kind of raised that way in a sense. Like our parents are still super cool. Like they got a divorce when we were 10. So 30 years ago, our parents got a divorce, but they're still super tight. Mm-hmm. I mean, they call each other, they check up on each other. There's never any disrespect between, the other spouses or anything like that. Like, they super cool. They gonna hang out. Like if they come into town, it's like, hey, we in town. At one point I remember mom was out of town when you were living with mom. Mm-hmm. Mom was out of town, and she was like, hey, if your dad doesn't need a place to stay, him and his wife, they can stay at the house. I'm not gonna be there anyways. Mm-hmm. Like they're just that cool. Like there's no disrespect. Like our stepmom that's our bonus mom. Like she has no problem with my mom. My mom has no problem with her, and everybody's cool. So I've always been that way, and even with like my exes, like we're cordial. Like I don't have a reason to act funny or say anything like that. And heck, to be honest, my baby daddy family is we gonna get invited to the cookout during it before he would. So
and we're gonna be there.
And we're gonna be there and be in the hubs. And they be like, you and the hubs come to the cookout, you and the hubs, okay, we got y'all a plate, and we gonna pull up.
And that's the way it should be.
Because that's TT them, and we going to TT house, and that's just that. Like that's sis. And they go for every sis, because at the end of the day, those people were there to support me when he couldn't. So at times when, say the baby daddy wasn't around and wasn't being too helpful, his sister became the other. That was my baby mama. So I love her down to death, and it's gonna always be that way. So the hubs accepts that family just the same as if it was just this just to sit right here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's cool, everybody's cordial, and it ain't no beef.
So quick little game here. I want to know, like, who is the cousin that is always down to go out, have a little hookah, a little drink, go and turn up a little bit?
Girl, my favorite cousin, Nicole. Of course.
Yes, we were in her city. We didn't get to do any of that, but she did host the fish fry at her thing.
Pretty dope.
Who is, I'm going to say two people. Who is, and you can name just two for each category. Who's your favorite auntie and who is your favorite uncle?
Ooh, that's so hard. Like favorite auntie, because I have different aunties. I would say my favorite aunt. That is so hard because Auntie Tanya is genuinely my favorite auntie.
Yeah.
But then Aunt Selena Mae is like my favorite turn up auntie.
They're my two favorites.
Yeah, like that's like I just love to turn up
for those. Yes, yeah. Auntie Tanya is definitely. I love her to death. Like we've had so many summers.
Yes.
Where we were just in Atlanta. I don't know why we went with her in the summers, but I have very fond memories. And then just dancing. She always bring the games. Like she turned us on to sequence. Yes. And the dominoes with all the when the dominoes go in all the different directions. I don't even know if that's called.
I don't even know it's gonna be.
But many, many years ago, she was definitely. And what did we play? The one game where you got to figure out the phrases, and we did that.
Like taboo?
No,
category.
No, it was like the things that Black people say, kind of like the. It's not like black card revolt, something like that, yeah. Right? So I love her to death. And Auntie Selena, she just crazy. So, who's your favorite uncle?
My favorite uncle. Let's see.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one because I don't really see the uncles as much now. Like back in the days, it used to be Uncle Michael, say when we were younger, but he's a little bit more distant now. So I would say Uncle Craig. Uncle Craig, like cause
He's still a vibe. He's a vibe.
He the eternal uncle. He always looking young. He's so super cute. And
still,
I'm like,
still holler at somebody.
Exactly. So I love him. And I was talking to him a lot while we were actually at this family. And I'm like, you trying to get married? He like, oh, no, never. I'm like, oh. So yeah, I love him. Love his personality. Love his
Uncle Howard still make me laugh.
Yes. Oh, of course. Uncle Howard always going to say, Uncle Howard has this thing where he always looks at both of us and say, which one of y'all a little ugly?
Like we going to say me.
Right, because he wants us to point each other out and call the other one. But he's been doing that since we can remember. Since we can probably talk, he been saying, "Which one of y'all a little ugly?" So yeah, he's definitely a rememberable. Like love him down.
So, do you guys have any like funny family stories from your reunion? Something that y'all did, something that you guys do as a tradition? Let us know. We definitely want to see more in the comments. We want you guys in there. Talk with us. DM us on social medias. Just join in the conversation.
Right. And one thing I would like to say is that the family tree only grows if you water the roots. So at the end of the day, like we said, it's so important to continue to put into your family. Like bring those ones that if they can't afford to come, hey, offer to pay for their fee, or hey, offer to come pick them up. Like my daughter lives in Tallahassee, so if we had to drive from Orlando to Tallahassee to get her, that would have added 2 more hours to our trip. So it was instantly like, hey, you finna drive to Panama City and get in the car with somebody. So I was making a phone call. I'm talking about a couple hours that night before everybody was leaving. Hey, you left yet? Hey, you left yet? Can she get in the car with one of y'all? Because at the end of the day, it's all about just coming together and bringing it all together. So I want to encourage you all today, of course, to go ahead and book that trip. Like we always say, book that trip, book that siblings trip, book that cousins trip, and even if it's not a trip, game night. Go ahead and get that on the schedule. Go ahead and schedule it. And for the ones that are in the same city as you, go ahead and schedule it. And for the ones that's not in the city, go ahead and get that Zoom link together. Right. And y'all invite them on over and y'all have a good time because it's all about living and it's all about just having that togetherness, that unity. Like it's been so much going on. Like I've been seeing nothing but like suicide and things like that on social media lately.
Like several days in a row.
Yes, multiple days in a row. Like starting at the first of the month, like that's what I kept opening my Facebook to, seeing multiple people, young people at that, and it's starting to affect the younger generation a lot more than normal. Typically, it used to be you would see in older people or people that just feel like maybe they had a really good life and then something fell off in their life, but now it's starting to be these younger generation. So with that in mind, just keep in mind doing stuff like the game nights and the little gatherings. Those are so important.
So even if you're not getting together for like multiple days, we usually do 2 or 3 days, even if it's just a big cookout. Everybody can come to the hometown or whatever's convenient for everybody and just do a good cookout. And I mean, spending that time or getting together for the holidays, renting out a hall. It doesn't have to be nothing crazy. Everybody bring their dish and it can be like potluck style, so long as you can cook. Because we will be asking like who made this mashed potatoes.
If you can't cook and you're scared to cook, go ahead and volunteer to bring those plates, cups, spoons, sodas, ice. So that be me. And it's not even that I can't cook. It's just that I'm the hairstylist. So I'm the hairstylist. And usually when it's the holiday time, I'm so swamped in the salon that I literally have no time to go grocery shop and then cook a meal or none of that. So I'm going to bring that pecan pie and that whipped cream and that silver.
Do y'all be judging when people bring like store-bought stuff? Because I don't judge, but tell us the truth. Do y'all be judging? Because
now I would never bring a store-bought nothing to the steel side of the family because they don't play. Okay, it's some bakers over there.
Listen, we was like, whose red velvet is this? Which auntie made this red velvet?
House debate. Yes, there's a whole debate going on who had the best red velvet. Now there's two aunties that have like the number one cake, but it's always which one is which. I ain't gonna say who my favorite is, but shout out to Auntie Helen and Auntie Tanya because y'all put y'all foot in them cakes, and every time I need y'all to make sure y'all pass that recipe on because the younger generation needs to know what to continue to do. And I know Jordan has that recipe, so love you, cuz.
Pass it on over, sneak it on over here, okay? Because maybe I can bake a cake or two. Maybe not, because I'm not. But
yeah, I'm not a baker at all.
I might become a baker in Thailand. Okay,
You might have time on your hands.
Yeah, all the time. I'm just gonna ship them over to y'all. Okay. So yeah.
Again, another quote is traditions only survive if we keep showing up for each other. So I want you guys to remember that and go ahead and schedule that family reunion. Make it a yearly thing if you can. And if you stick with a same weekend type of deal or same time every year, it makes it easier for people to plan in advance. It makes it easier for people to take off work. And also, like, they give a suggestion of, hey, we can start something where everybody sends in $10 a month. Right. And that makes it a very affordable. So our family reunion fee went up to 75 this year. Mm-hmm. But if everybody really sent there $10 a month, that'd be $120. So how great would that be?
$5 a month would be
$5 a month would be suffice. But if if you could afford it, $10 a month, then it helps to take care of the elderly, family members that can't afford it, or people that are on a fixed income. Mm-hmm. So for those that are on fixed income, or either for the children that are, 5 and below, that helps just to help some of the costs for those people that might have multiple children and things like that. So just great ideas, or something to think about when it comes time to thinking about planning something, whether it's big or small. Just make it happen at the end of the day. And we love y'all. Yeah. We want to see y'all together. We want to see families together. We are big on family. Family is everything. Okay. So again, as usual, we like to end our episode by telling you guys follow us. Follow us on all social media platforms.
Push all of the buttons.
Push all of the buttons from the bottom to the top. Make sure you comment and like and share. Share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. Definitely tell the family members we said go ahead and book that trip. Go ahead and book that game night. Okay?
Subscribe. I am Victoria NP on all social medias. I still need more followers, so I need you to go follow me on my personal page, please. And then go to Twinspired Pod and follow me on there too. Okay? Share, like, subscribe. We post every week on Wednesday. Hopefully it'll be more consistent because we just hired somebody to do our editing. I'm happy about that because that's a time happy job that ain't none of us gonna do no more. So you guys follow us again,
and I am Toya Envy on all of the socials. So that's TikTok, that's Instagram, Facebook. I'm just on Toya still singing. I usually don't use Facebook as much. You still use a lot of Facebook?
Oh, so yeah. Yep. I'm trying to get into some of the other stuff, and then now they got some new stuff coming out. Something 8,
Living 8.
Yep. Yeah. Not on there yet.
I'm on there, but not really. I have an account. I have not yet posted anything that I know of. I think it's kind of like Pinterest.
So I think they're anticipating the fact that the TT is going to be just not it's just international. It's not going to be, for the world.
So yeah, we don't want to ramble, but you guys, again, follow us. We drop episodes every week on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 7 p.m. is usually our drop time. Make sure you turn on that bell so that you can get the notifications. And again, share it with someone else that might need to hear this podcast for today. In the future, we're going to start having guests on the pod and on the shows weekly with us so that you guys can not just only hear good insight and information from us. We want you to learn and grow with others as well. And we also want to give others the platform to be able to put out their brands and be able to grow. At the end of the day, we are a podcast all about managing life, business, and family. So we want to basically give other creators the opportunity to grow and use our platform as well and have a voice.
So tell us which type of format you guys like. Last week we were in here laughing and giggling, and we found out how petty we were, and that was a really fun episode. But sometimes we do want to give you guys information and encouragement. So not every episode is going to be, getting to see all of our personality. But if you like that type of content better, we want to hear from you guys because our goal is always to keep you guys engaged, and we want to be able to dish out the type of information that you guys are willing to receive. So let us know, get in our comments for sure. All right.
All right, y'all. So that is the end of our episode. We love you guys, and we hope to see you guys next week. Y'all stay safe, and most of all, y'all stay together.
Bless.
All right, love y'all.
Bye.